Motivation isn't real. That's the title of today's video, and that's the argument I'm going to be making here in the next few minutes to get you to understand that if you're waiting to feel motivated to chase your goals, you're losing. You're already behind, and you got some making up to do. Um, Welcome back to another video here on the channel. The reason why I came up with this argument that I wanted to talk about here today is because, scrolling on social media, I see a lot of good stuff that's supposed to bring motivation to people. But then I put myself in the shoes of who's actually watching those videos, and I guess from taking the perspective of somebody who's watching those in order to gain motivation. And then I ended up coming to the conclusion that motivation isn't actually real. And motivation isn't real in the way that most people use it nowadays, which is this glorified idea that we need to feel inspired in order to get things done. This mindset ends up being used as a crutch for people to stay out of shape, broke, and stuck. Motivation is nothing but a fabricated concept. When somebody says that they're not feeling motivated lately, it usually means that they're choosing comfort over accountability. And the part that's worrisome is that society eats that up. We've become very used to giving pats on the back for people who say they feel unmotivated instead of giving them a wake-up call. Because at the end of the day, motivation is just a feeling, and like all feelings, it's unreliable. It's there when it wants, and it ends up disappearing when things get hard. So if you're a slave to your motivation, you're definitely going to end up failing on the long run. It's always a good reminder that success doesn't wait for you to be motivated. Your competitors don't wait for you to be motivated. And your dreams are there, but they're not going to fulfill themselves. So you should definitely replace motivation with things that actually get the job done, with your system, habits, and most importantly, purpose. Figure out what your purpose is and take steps towards it every single day consistently. And don't go to bed until you feel like you've gotten at least 1% closer to fulfilling that purpose. Consistency is showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. And once you do that, the motivation actually ends up appearing. Your goals need to be ingrained in your head. Your action taking needs to be absolutely automatic. So instead of relying on your motivation, rely on your discipline, because that's what's going to keep you moving forward when your motivation is dead. You build discipline by showing up consistently, especially when you don't want to, and by repetitively taking action even when the results aren't instant. And in the end, that discipline is going to build confidence, because when you follow through with it, you're going to prove to yourself every single time that you're built for this. I see a lot of valuable stuff on the internet and social media from people like Alex Hormozy, David Goggins, and Luke Belmar, but they've already found their purpose and they've taken consistent steps for years to keep chasing that purpose and to reach the status where they're at right now. So all these guys are very successful, and it's definitely valuable to learn from what they have to say. You have to be able to apply it every single day. You have to have the guts to actually take action with that value that you're retaining and put it to practice. If you become a serial motivation TikTok watcher, you're not going to go anywhere. You're going to keep feeding your brain with those quick dopamine spikes from watching people talk about success and getting things done. But as soon as that dopamine dies down, you're going to see yourself stuck in the same place. So stop being a serial consumer of motivational content on the internet and actually apply what you're learning from these very successful people into real world scenarios. And once you start building that discipline and that consistency, you'll see the motivation flow into your life very easily. I think it's always important to remember that your dreams are not going to work on themselves unless you get up and take action. I know it's cliche, but it's the truth. If you keep going to the internet to find motivation, you're not going to progress. So find your purpose and chase it regardless of your feelings and your motivation. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Always forward.